So I want to focus on, for my last part, give you a very quick overview of what Boeing does in China, because that's close to where we are here. So Boeing's association with China dated many, many years ago. So as you probably know, Wang Shou, the first Boeing engineer that hired by Boeing in 1916, he was the one, he is a Chinese, so he was born in Beijing, and he was the one who designed the Model C wooden structured aircraft. So he has been instrumental in development of the aircraft, and which lays the ground for modern aircraft. And also, I guess China has started to purchase the first Boeing aircraft after the Nixon's historical visit in 1972. So since then, Boeing has more than 40 years of partnership in China and has been very fruitful. So there are huge opportunities in China aviation market, because as you can see there, the size of the commercial fleet demand in China is huge for the next 20 years. So it will need more than 6,900 new aircraft by 2033. And so that means that it will be the largest, if it's going to be realized, China will be the largest aviation market. Currently is America. So, and that also means that the fleet size will be tripled in the next 20 years. So we know that currently there are around 2,000 aircraft in service in China, but we all experience flight delays and other challenges. So in order for us to realize this new huge growth, we need to overcome some challenges, obviously. So things like airspace constraint, and things like airport efficiency, maintenance capacity and efficiency, as well as environmental concerns. Because when the fleet size increased by 3 times, you need a lot more fuel consumption as well, and the associated CO2 emission. So we need to consider all those issues and how to address those issues as well. So Boeing in China currently has more than 2,000 employees, as well as more than 4,000 joint venture personnel in 25 locations. So our headquarters is in Beijing. However, we have other part of the other subsidiaries and companies distributed around the world. So our partnership in China is multiple levels. It's national level partnership with CAAC, AVIC, and COMAC, as well as like NDRC. And we have lots of airline customers, obviously, and joint R&Ds. And we have also suppliers who make parts for our Boeing aircraft, as well as our community engagement. So as you can see from that graph, that our engagement in China is multiple level and is very comprehensive. So we have growing procurement and industrial collaboration, as I mentioned before, and in other words, suppliers to make products for our aircraft. So currently, there are more than 7,000 of Boeing airplanes equipped with parts and assemblies built by China. And we have a lot of contractors as well, and that list, it's being increased continuously. So, as I said before, with this huge growth in China as well as globally and demand, we put a lot more emphasis on environmental stewardship or its sustainability. So if you look at these graphs, so for instance, for CO2 emission, and there are different ways you can do to improve that. Of course, you can build better and lighter aircraft. That's one way to deal with it. And you can, other things that has a big influence is air traffic management investment and improvement of operational efficiency. But one of the biggest factor is actually use of renewable fuels. In other words, aviation biofuels, for instance. So that is why our emphasis in China, it's in those areas that lead to lighter weight material, improvement of operational efficiency, as well as sustainable aviation biofuel development, and to address the challenge that's unique to this market as well as globally. So I am responsible for Boeing Research and Technology China. So our vision is actually to be a valued partner to deliver knowledge and technology for mutual benefit of Boeing and China. So we are working, our portfolio is included in those few areas, such as development of sustainable aviation biofuels and development of new solutions for improvement of air traffic management or airspace or optimization of airspace utilization, and also aircraft maintenance operation, as well as carbon fiber composite recycling. I'm talking about environment stewardship. So that's a part of that, as well as future talent development. So we have established 6 joint research centers and consortia in China, and we're working with more than 40 research partners, as well as nearly 500 external researchers on those different programs now. So we have been involved. I just want to talk quickly through our involvement in aviation biofuel development in China. So we involved in all those different areas, starting from evaluation, the feasibility of the industry, establishment of a new biofuel industry, as well as looking at what are the feedstock that we should use that are more uniquely available in the region, in the country, that will provide an affordable and low-cost biofuel for use later on. And then we also look at establishment of standards and certification for those fuels being used on aircraft. So we have a lot of involvement there, and we support test flight, of course, in China. So far, there are more than 1,500 of test flights being done globally, but in China, we so far had 3. So one is on the first test flight is Air China back in 2011, I remember. And then there is also one to certified Sinopec's biofuel. And the third one is this year, it's a first commercial flight in China using aviation biofuel by Hainan Airline. So we have been involved in all these areas, hoping to help to establish and promote the development and commercialization, as well as the use of aviation biofuel in China, so that it can meet the demand of the future growth. So we also set up a Boeing COMAC Joint Research Center. It's a center focusing on aviation energy conservation and emission reduction. So we established in 2012, and so far we're mainly working in those 3 areas. Again, aviation biofuel, air traffic management, as well as carbon health and safety modeling. So we're making a lot of good progress in that area. I probably don't have time to go into detail. So us and COMAC, although we are potentially competitor, but we are also collaborator. So Boeing is talking about compete and collaborate. So because what we are doing together here is actually benefit the industry as a whole. So as a result of our productive collaboration with COMAC, and this year we actually put forward an Eco Partnership application to the U.S. Department of State and NDRC, and we have successfully been awarded this Eco Partnership. So this Eco Partnership will focus on 3 areas. We'll continue to work on aviation biofuel, and also air traffic management, but we also add cleaner manufacturing operation. So we're hoping to help to develop better recycling practices and standard both during aircraft manufacturing as well as end-of-service disposal. So in that case, that will help the industry as a whole, but help human beings as a whole as well. So that's why we're working on those areas whereby we have common benefits. So apart from those technology development, we do involve in lifelong learning from elementary school to secondary school to university. So we have so those different levels of involvement. So we are many Boeing Research and Technology is responsible for university part of the engagement. So that shows our university undergraduate type of engagement. So research is more with postgraduate, but with undergraduate, we have scholarship program, we have annual Boeing Days, faculty training, student technology projects, etc. So there are a lot of activity going on. So to summarize, Boeing is one of the most innovative companies in the world. So over the years, due to those innovations, it has led to continuous improvement in products and services. So we certainly want to work with all of you, if you are, for the people who are interested, to continuously make flying dream come true. So continuous improvement of that aerospace industry is our dream, and I hope it's your dream. Thank you.